Hi, welcome to Ocean Yumi's channel. So, um, Ali Carter has been the big talk of the airways the whole of last week to this week, and it seems like that how she's like there is a lot of truths and speculations and stuff going around. Now, her mother did come out to talk as well. Let me see if I can find the mum. And then I'm going to put up this lady who did a psychological look at Ali Carter from a psychological point of view. Let me see if I can find the mum. Because that was kind of, you know. And also Angela Stanford, I can't even say the lady's name, was also looking into her. I did do old videos on her a long time ago. Let me find the mama. Now that's such a sad message. Now, for how long I knew about Ali Carter? How very long before she even said and all this stuff. Angela Stanton was also on her tail at one point. So the fact that I'm gonna put a name to the channel holder, King World, found out stuff. Danny Robinson also dipped in a little more, found out more stuff. Now, what Shelley's doing, she's really trying to contradict what they have found. Now, she was a social worker because people, me and my audience from a long time, always said how iffy it was, that how strange the interaction was between the two, not knowing that how it was what we saw on what was transmuted onto the screen was actually what was actually going on. So another one person I'm gonna play is also this psychiatrist lady, and she breaks down a few things. She actually did 2 videos on her. And also, I feel the reason why I'm putting it on my channel basically because we've all been saying, where is the children? What she's been talking about. One time I went to her IG and there was a video of 2 little ones. It was very disturbing scene, very disturbing. Thinking about it now, so disturbing. Because I knew she was supposed to be this advocate, I sent her the videos and I said, I don't know what's going on in this video, because it was like there was this, like they were beating up the little girl and they was trying to unalive the boy, right? And these are very little children. And I think to this day I've never forgotten that scene from that video, because it put such a, no, it didn't traumatize me as such. It's just the fact that how people are capable of doing these things to children are out there, and that how, well, and we know that through computers and stuff, people can find out the origin of the videos and certain stuff, and nothing came out of it. Then when she did a live, this is Ali, aka Tori, when she did a live, which is what I've said in my other lives. When we, the people, started asking her questions, she started blocking people, and her mum was saying, "Oh, they're haters of this and that and the other," which isn't the case, because like when you know somebody's advocating for something, and this is my understanding of being an advocate, and when you're advocating for something, you live life, you risk your life, you risk your family, you risk everything. And she actually didn't really come over like that. Then Angela Stanton brought out a video, which I do have on my channel. And Angela Stanton started questioning a few things, which is the same thing I was questioning. Angela Stanton started looking into certain stuff because Angela Stanton said she was actually going to help her to get the application, to get things sorted so that she can advocate for these children that are in human trafficking. Then when it seemed like it was getting too hot from Angela Stanton's side, Ali disappeared again. Then how much years later she surfaces again. Same stories, changing stories, adding stuff, twisting stuff. Because at the beginning, right, there's no smear campaign against her like that, because when she started telling certain stories, right, you are picturing it in your head. There is a video that she was telling the story of what happened to a couple children. Now, it was so graphic, I had to put it on private because it was so graphic. It was just so graphic. It was just crazy. So I put it on private, and I've never taken it off for private since that time, because she does it with a smile. And I'm not saying that how survivors have to look a certain way. No, I'm not saying that. But if you're advocating for what you're advocating for, that's like me advocating for something, right? And I know that whatever I'm advocating for, people can unalive you for it. And she personally, I feel her and the lady, I mean, I'm hearing that her name is Shelley Carter, and that how she got her through because she was a social worker, and a whole heap of stuff is coming out about her. So I'm thinking in myself now, right, that's why I was seeing it on the screen all this time. Now, the interesting thing about it is, love or hate world, whatever, right? But he really found the mum came out of the wherever she came out, and she started talking. The sister came out, started talking. Now, we know that CPS is not a good thing anyway, because we've seen it from the 2 toddlers that passed away and stuff. So I know CPS ain't good in it, but it's when somebody's saying they're doing it for the children, then you are like a minstrel, a puppet. Seems like. Well, pop a video of her dancing. Now, if you look around the room, then we know trafficking is across the world, right? All types of people go through this trafficking thing. It's not just one particular people. It's not just this particular people. All types of people. So when you're looking around the room in the video, right, and it's a shame I can't get his video, because because there's this video where she's dancing and it just looks so odd. She's dancing and the people are sitting down there just watching her, staring at her very weirdly. Now, people call it maybe it could be a cult, who knows. Then the words that Shelley keeps using is slave. Slave. So you're thinking to yourself, why you keep using that word for? Like, you know what I mean? We know about the MK Ultra, we know about them stuff already, where like a person is controlled and programmed and reprogrammed when they are put into a certain situation. But her mum coming out, okay, she may not be the best mother, no one's the bestest mother in the world, but she came out and she cried out to her daughter. To me, there's nothing wrong with that. But the main fact of how you are advocating for children who are being human trafficked, then it's like there's something else going on behind the scenes. Now, the reason why I say this, let me see if I've got the lady lined up. This lady seems like a psychotherapist, okay? So she does a psychological look at Ali, aka Tori, and Shelley Carter. Now you tell me what you think in the comments as she's talking. And you're thinking to yourself, yeah, where is the children? Why? Most people get Nobel Peace Prizes, medals of activism. Active activism is a life and death situation. You are advocating for people who are vulnerable, children who are vulnerable. That's why I always refer to The Sound of Freedom. The Sound of Freedom showed a man who was a policeman who went in, and he went to South America because he was trying to deal with the pedophiles in America. And then something came across his desk and he ended up in South America. When he was in South America, he started to try to get the children, because he had to work his way through and do certain things, get money from people, all that stuff. Because when you're advocating, you go get money, you go get this and that. Luckily for him, he's a police already, so he was able to go to South America to go and help the human trafficking children. He said because he have children himself, he decided to take on that work. That is an advocator. You are therefore saying you're advocating, but then she was, I do remember seeing her in leotards dancing and all that stuff. So Robinson even delve in and found information on Shelley. And every time I hear something about Shelley, it doesn't look good on. She said that people test a smear campaign against them. So, like I said, we're children. Where's the survivors? Where are the survivors that you saved? Because if you say I'm not going to talk because you know me, I put point of view across very, and it's been a funny morning this morning.
I'm going to be talking about Allie Carter. I have been getting messages under other videos I did about her, people saying I'm wrong, I'm misunderstanding her, I need to watch some of her other videos. Once I watch her other videos, it'll make more sense to me. I get it, I understand. So, okay, I'm going to go ahead and look at some of the other videos. I really didn't want to watch any more of her videos because I already knew it wasn't going to change my opinion. I already knew I was going to see things that's going to make me more critical of what she's saying, because I knew she was going to, her or her mother, and that did not make sense to me. And that's her first video.
So while we have been off grid and quiet, we started working on affidavits, sworn statements about the things that she went through. We dispersed those to insurance holders. When she does an affidavit, it takes a lot out of her. So she will give me the information and I'll type it up, and then she will proof it, and then we will get it notarized and sworn. And then she's down. Like, it takes not an easy thing, but we've been trying to work on that while we've been quiet. We have a couple here. I'm going to pass them around. You can read them if you've already read them. Pass them through, just so you can kind of get an idea of what's going on. We don't have anybody to give these to, except you guys. Like the regular everyday people. We can't take them to the court because the courts are corrupt. We can't take them to the police or the FBI because you know and you're seeing firsthand what that looks like. There's nobody to give it to. That's why we've always appealed to the everyday American people, because they get it. They're genuinely have a good heart. Most people want to help. Most people are kind and loving. That's not where your agencies, CPS, FBI, there's a lot of corruption there and they can't be trusted. So, hi, I'm Allie's mom, Shelly. In a few weeks, there's going to be a series release called Allie to All of Us. You're going to see some things in there that are probably going to shock you.
And I remember when they did all that. I remember all the promotional stuff. I remember the one where she did one for human, like, you know, it's still on the same lines as human trafficking, but it was promotion because she was talking to a lot of channels. She was talking to a lot of channels. She was literally all over the place. I remember that. But they're saying this lady here is not who she is, who she's supposed to be. She's not her adopted mother. There's a bit more to it. Seems like they're married, whatever's going on. She adopted her, or I'm not going to use the word kidnap. It seems like she's the one, the exact same stories that Allie's been telling. This lady probably had a lot to do with a lot of the stories. A lot of the stories is true, and a lot of stories might be twisted. A lot of stories might be about what's going on with what they have been doing with her, because this lady, when you see her in every video, she's there on the side. She's there on the side. It's like damage control. When somebody is under control of somebody else, it's like the person who's controlling will sit with the person. It's like a DV relationship. If there's something that the other person doesn't want that person to express, they will sit right there and then make sure that you tell the story to however they want the story told. Now, this lady always sits in the background in every video. When you see Allie, whatever she's doing, she's there. And I was always thinking, why is she always there? Can't the girl just move around and do what she's doing? You know, because sometimes, right, you know, when you learn something, when you learn how to do things, right, you are able to go off and you can, right, you know, every once in a while you tap into that other person and then you come back and then you are able to do presentations and certain stuff without the help of the person being there if you are being told how to do the presentation. There seems to be a lot of manipulation there because, well, right, Blanco, and I know I keep calling Blanco's name and everything, because you know what? Blanco, when she read, before all this come out, Blanco read certain stuff and she said that things are going to be exposed about Allie. Blanco mentioned a pregnancy in one of her readings. Fair enough. Touching wood, iron. Sure enough, what turns up on Will's scream, her being pregnant, where people are saying, where are the babies that she had or have? Where the babies? There's obviously something mentally off with the girl. You can see it on her face. Right? When a person is deeply disturbed, they have a look on their faces. In the eyes, they call it touched in the head. Something's going on. But, you know, one content creator literally did call, I don't know who, because I did see a little bit of it on this lady. Now, this lady, when they're coming to answer the content creators, they're telling them that they should research on them and this and that and that and that and that. Now they done the research on them, right? She's trying to counteract what they researched on them. So I'm with this lady here. When your gut says something is off with something, when you watch something on screen, something is off with this one. It doesn't, the coffee, the sauce, the fish don't smell good. So I don't know when it's all gonna come to a head or when whatever, because when they're driving, they always make sure and cover the back of the van so you can't see the back of the van. And we know the YouTube investigators, when they clock what's going on in the back, or if they see something, they can see something on screen and they can find out where you are at. So what they're doing, as she's talking, she covered the window, the side where Shelly's sitting is covered, the back is covered. Now, my daughter, who is younger than Ali, came into the room when I was watching Ali reply to her mother. And my daughter's words was, something's off with her. She looks a little funny. Something with the eyes. My daughter said, something with the eyes. I said, oh. Because I know when they start calling out things, when they see things on screen, guarantee it is what it is. Now, I'm going to let this lady talk because she's doing a psychological look at Ali. Okay? I know I have to interrupt the video and all this palaver. YouTube have to give me a break on this one because, she has to talk. The lady broke down. The first one I broke down was the first one that she broke. The first video I saw of this lady was when she did a breakdown on, I think, is Ali's movements or what she's saying and something. So this is what make me go and draw for this video right now.
You're going to hear some things. I wanted to take a minute before that.
The only people who have the affidavits is the insurance policy. So if something happened to them, these people who have this information will then spread it around the world so it can get out there. That's the only time they're really planning on releasing the information. Excuse me. That's the only time they're planning on releasing the information. And then how her mother took those two affidavits, one that was in a blue folder and one was in the red folder. And she's like, the only people we can show them to is you that are, here, your volunteers that are here. Let me tell you something about an affidavit. And they keep saying affidavit. An affidavit is a sworn statement saying everything I'm saying in here is true. That affidavit has no weight unless you're going to court, because now a judge can hold you accountable for everything you've written in the affidavit, because now the person that you're accusing of doing something wrong or the wrongdoing, they have a chance to defend themselves. So based on what you're saying in the affidavits, based on the names that you're naming, these people have an opportunity to come and say, well, this is not true. And then, you can go back and forth. But an affidavit has no weight, just me handing it to an individual. It carries no weight. So these people are supposed to be reading all these names and everything that happened to them and believe that is true. I don't believe in doing that. Unless you really have proof, you have something that you can show, or you have a way of getting the information out to authorities. Because like I said, not all authorities are corrupt. They will get it moving in the right direction. Not all news outlets are corrupt. They will get it moving in the right direction. Yes, there are times when you don't get justice. That's just the way this world works. You don't always get the justice you want. You don't always get the justice you deserve. But going around showing affidavits do nothing but put in people's mind, these people did that with no proof. And it makes I'm not defending anybody who's doing anything against kids, but I believe in having the truth out there. Not fabrications, not half truth, not lies, not sensationalized, but the truth, because that's the only way you're going to get closer to helping people. You're not going to save everyone. but you're going to be able to save some people with the truth. They're always talking about how corrupt the system is. The government is corrupt. Police department is corrupt. The judges and the teachers and this person and that person, and there's no one there to help. It's pointless for me to go to authorities with all this information I have because I have tried, but no one helped. And she just keep pushing her mother keep pushing that point. No one's there to help. There are people out there, especially when it comes to children, especially when it comes to young adults. If you're presenting yourself like Ally Carter is doing as a beacon of hope, I've been through what you've been through. I'm here to help. I'm trying to help save you. I'm trying to go out there and get these people and bring these people to justice or get help for the children. She put herself in that position. So if you're telling these young people, these victims, these people who are being abused, you can't trust anyone. There's no one to help. What make you think they're going to reach out for help? What make you think they're going to tell someone? And like I said in other videos, the only thing that's going to do is prolong their suffering. It's going to prolong them being in that situation. It's going to prolong someone else because it might be someone else on the outside know what's going on. They may be scared of these people or just scared in general. And when you're constantly saying, you go to the police, they're part of the problem. You go to this person, they're part. That's going to make them more afraid to go seek help. And if you're not asking for help, you're not going to, your problem is not going to be solved. It's like the old saying goes, the squeaky wheel gets the oil. So if you're not saying anything, who know what's going on? I know these things are going on out there in the world. A lot of people know these things going out there in the world, but you cannot go and knock on every door and ask every child, are you okay? Is this person helping you? It helps when you encourage these people to come forward and tell their stories, to come forward and let authorities know. There are good people in authority position. There are bad people in authority position. The only thing we can do is pray that more good people step up in these positions to help, because telling people not to tell does not help the situation. I want to show, I'm going to just bear with me. I'm going to show some videos, and one of the videos, I'm just going to show the video and then I'm going to come back and talk to you.
There are children being hurt right now, and the children that need you now.
See that call?
Officer, a teacher, different people like. Well, I'll talk about this later. Let me just kind of finish showing you what's on this page. And then I will get on screen and talk about it. And then on this page, this is one of the things that kind of caught my eye, what they wrote here. It says, this section is pictures only for you to look at or read. Excuse me. There are no live links attached to them. Again, use these as a jumping off point and continue down the rabbit hole on your own.
The images are so disgusting. Okay, it's like, to me, when someone's been through, I'm going to remove it off the screen. Hold on, let me remove this off the screen. When people has been through abuses themselves, because many has been through abuses, that's what I was going to say before I got interrupted, right? People have triggers as well. And from childhood, right, it's like you're reopening box of worms. I'm not, right, there's ways to show stuff without being too graphical, right? If you're in a forum, it's different, but then even then, you got to be mindful of what you're putting up, because it is known as graphic images, right? You are literally, especially if people is exchanging it through the internet, the WhatsApp, the Telegram, whatever. Images Like these, what she's putting up, and the fact that it's done like that, right, is very disturbing. Right now, I went to an FGM forum one time, and they did not show how whatever was done or how whatever was done. They kind of described it a little bit, and then women who's been through it, talk about it. So when you've been in forums like that, in certain forums, whether it be mental health forum, domestic violence forum, right, they will show, because because people have triggers and all sorts of things going on, right? Because you don't know, right? So Ali and her mum, when they are presenting certain things, especially when it comes to websites, to me certain things should not be on websites like that, like the one with the child dressed like that. We know in this big world, like the lady said, and which is true, I'm not taking her words, that these things are going on, right? On the dark side of Ocean Yumi, I discovered the Elm guest house and what went on in it, right? And it was very disgusting, very sick, right? And I had to figure out how to put it up on the screen because I didn't want to trigger nobody, right? And even when they're describing certain stuff, you still have to be mindful that you can trigger somebody because you don't know. Even when you go through the timeline, you see all sorts of things. So you have to know how to deal with it. I feel that how they are making money off of this, right? People talk about trauma bonding. This is trauma bonding on a bigger scale. And they are making money because obviously the army is giving her money and and all, I don't have to explain to you. We see it every day on the internet where people be begging and certain stuff, and this is her way. And maybe they do have a substance thing going on because like when you do look at the Shelley, there is something off with her. There is something off with Shelley Carter. There's something off with her, no doubt. And I'm sure I'm not the only one who see this. Others have said this, right? even Ali, when she's talking to her mum as well, the way she talks to her mum, when she replies to her mum, right? Doesn't matter whether your mum's not been there for you. You are supposed to change the way how you deal with your parents. You are the change. You're a 31-year-old woman. You do need help. Or with your mum or dad, you need help. You need help because what you are saying is very, I don't know. I can't even put into words, but it's very, when people have been through abuse and suffered and come out the other end of abuse, right? Yes, they do go back and they do it to others. Yes, some do. Some is either more protective, they take control, they face the abuser, they tell their family, the children, first of all, they tell the children, at least, so they know about it. They know the who and the what's and the what. Alice brought up stories where like she was with somebody, someone took her to her house. I'm not going to relay the whole thing word for word. If you've been following, you know, where like something's happened. Then it came down to the boy, something to do with the boy. Shelley is denouncing seem like a son. So, and I'm not doing it by hearsay, is what is put out on screen, because I am not going to go digging to look up nobody's stuff. That is not me. So you'll be looking in the wrong place. But the way how this girl came at her biological mother, love or hate your biological mother, this the way she was coming at her, which I'm going to show later. She came at her mom a bit messed up. I'm sorry. Right. Your mom is reached out through a content creator to say, if you need help, if you need this, all you have to do is run and go for 911 and I'll come wherever you at, I'm gonna come get you. That's what she said. I don't see nothing wrong in that. Right? And because that woman has you so far gone, or whatever's going on, because I'm gonna say whatever's going on, I'm gonna add whatever, because like I'm not the fly on the wall. Well, I'm just going on by the screen. So when this lady, I see how she's breaking it down little by little. And certain images I don't like. I don't know. It seemed like I got to edit that bit out because nah. It just no. But that's from their website.
He and I can't think of the woman name right now. I'm sorry. The woman comedian. They did that little skit with the little boy, and they they did it as.
She's talking about Tiffany Haddish when they did that skit with the boy, where the mum left the boy with the uncle, and he looked weird on screen once again. Questionable. But something was done about that. So something needs to be done about this.
Comical, they thought it was funny and stuff like that, but it was about exploiting kids. And those videos those images that she had on her site with the kids, as a person that's supposed to be a survivor, as a person that's supposed to be helping kids, I don't understand why you would put those on your site when you know that some people pay for those type of photographs. Some people are going to your site and actually, excuse my language, but they're actually jerking off to those pictures because those are the type of images they get off on. Some people don't, they have people that will sit and watch, like I did the video about the man who was abusing dolls and raping dolls, and then he would post that on the internet. Some people sat there and actually watched that and it turned them on. And then the person who was doing that, then turned around and got photographs of kids being abused. And so when you put this on your website, you're drawing those type of people to your website because they're looking at it. And then it was something that she said on there, because like I said, the words to me, it's certain things I hear that kind of trigger something in me. When she posted and had the words, this is your jumping off point. That's what triggered me. It's like, this is, you watch this, you get started. This is your starting point, looking at this and getting it.
Now tell me, what survivor is gonna do that? You put something up that predators are going to watch. Predators are going to take snapshots of. You're talking against predators and you're putting, that's what I'm saying. The imagery is very important. If you don't have to put up the actual imagery to explain about abuse. When I did my training for CARE, right, that was one of the subjects that came up, right? The teacher didn't need to show abuses to explain abuses. They explain the financial abuse, they explain the physical abuse, they explain the abuse of an elderly, they explain abuse of a child, right? And they didn't put up none of that, right? And they said that these are the signs that you look for when you are around people who's going through this. So if you're advocating for people who's going through that, because even when I do videos on the dark side, which is to do with this, even I get concerned listening to certain stuff myself, because the channel was supposed to represent abusive and other stuff that goes on as well. But that's why I don't cover everything, because I feel that like I don't need to cover every single thing, and you have to choose certain things, and you have to make sure that the viewer knows that how they are these organizations out there that can help them, right? Because you who's been abused in the past, or even if you put behind your head, you forget it, you blank it out, something would rise up that thing, and it will trigger you to the max. When you watch certain movies, there's a movie called A Woman Down at Lucent, and what happens to the little girl? I'm sure many women went through when they were younger. Some women, I'm not going to say many, some women went through. So when that was put into it, right, people will get images and remember them, what they went through. So you are placing images in people's heads that shouldn't even be placed in their heads, because not only that, right, you're giving the person on the screen, behind the screen, free images. You're giving them a look into they are able now to go send to their little friends, because you know there is rings, or these people have rings and all sorts of things going on. It's a deep rabbit hole. Talking about these things, human trafficking and certain stuff, is a very deep wormhole. You cannot just cover it off the base. You go going deep. One time I think I covered it so deep, I was on a panel, and I started talking about abuse, and the whole panel went quiet. And that's what I knew to myself. Some people are not ready to face whatever happened to them. They or face the abuser. Because when you face the abuser, that's how you get back your power. When you are ready to rise, your power will come forward. Therefore, you will look that person in the eye and you can say to them, I remember when you used to abuse me. We've seen this on this social media here. One man went and faced his abuser to his face, and he said, do you remember me? The guy was running from him, literally. So, like I said, I'm coming back to the images. When you're putting up certain images and you're having certain dialogues, you have to know that when you're putting out the images, that it will trigger somebody. Not only that, you're feeding the pedophile in the process, right? That's why there's like when the mummy sectors, when inappropriate things is shown with the children, some of the mummy sector do not show that inappropriate video because they know what is going on. They are very aware of what is going on. So by her doing that, she's not helping. Like I said, she's not an advocator. She is anti-advocator. She's anti. She's not for the cause, right? That's why you have to be mindful of certain people who said that they are philanthropists, so-called philanthropists, right? Because behind closed doors, like was said in the Elms house, they are doing the same thing. And it seems like this is what is going on with Ali and Shelley right now.
Excited about this, and then you can go down the rabbit hole. Let me kind of stop for a minute. Okay. In my early teens and up into my mid to late 30s, I was hanging around D-boys. And one of the things being around D-boys that they did then, I don't know if they still do it now, they were speaking code. Because, you know, back when I was like 17 years old, they didn't have cell phone. So you're speaking on a public phone, or you're speaking on someone's house phone, or you have a pager and you're using codes in your pager and you're speaking in code. The whole time you're speaking, you're talking about D, but at the same time, it sounds like you're talking about you're having a whole different conversation. And so unless you understood the code, you would have no clue what they're really talking about. You might think they're talking about what they're going to cook tonight or where they're going, what time they're going to a place, how much something is going to cost. They're doing all this in that conversation, but the whole time they're talking about a transaction. This is what I want from you. I want some weight, I want some soft, I want some hard. This is what I want. And this is where we can meet over here. This is how much it's going to cost. That's the conversation. That's the real conversation they're having. But they're speaking in code, so it just sounds like, oh, we're going to meet up here, da, 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 and you have no clue of what they're talking about. Like I said, unless you're part of that world and understand that conversation. So when I hear her and certain things don't make sense as far as a regular conversation, that's where my mind goes. It might just be my mind, but that's where my mind goes. Just like the first affidavit that I seen that she put out with the first video I did, it was a lot of things in there that did not make sense to me, because an affidavit is supposed to be, anytime you're presenting something to the court, it's supposed to be written out a certain way. She gave one person birthday and did not give the other men birthday. It's a lot of things just did not make sense to me. It's like I want to say, I don't want to accuse someone of doing something, but her moves, the moves that she's making, the things that she's putting out there, the way that they're talking, to me is not about helping the kids, because it's like you're telling them everything to stop them, because she's telling regular people, go out and speak about it, talk about trafficking, talk about abuse of the kids, get a poster, go outside. What is that going to help? Do you really think a person who's doing this is going to stop because they've seen a sign? Do you really think a child that sees that sign is really going to say, hey, I need help? And if the child did go up and get help, who is that person? Y'all telling strangers, y'all don't know these people. Y'all going to tell them out there to hold signs. How do y'all know that y'all not inviting people who want to hurt kids into a place that's supposed to be helping kids? Everything you're accusing other people of doing, how do you know that's not the environment you're creating? Because you're saying you're not hiring anyone, that everyone that comes to you to help you is volunteering. Are y'all vetting these volunteers, or are y'all just letting volunteers come? Because anywhere there is an opportunity to hurt children, guess who's going to also come? A predator. So to speak ill of people that are organizations that are out there that can't help, and I'm not saying all these organizations are innocent, but to turn people away from organizations that can help, or maybe end their problems, but you don't point them in that direction. And then she's talking about when have Black Lives Matter helped anyone? She wanted her organization to be better than Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter is not anything that you want to put as pointing to, hey, this is what I'm striving for, because they did not help anyone but themselves. Unless you're trying to tell something. But Black Lives Matter didn't help anyone but themselves. They really didn't help the people they said it was trying to help. And that's what I'm feeling with this, that they're not really helping the people that they're saying they're trying to help. And you could, in her video, you can see that those kids was in pain, that those kids was hurting. And for her to keep that up, all you're doing is victimizing those kids again, over and over and over. You don't have to display that hurt to get your point across, but at the same time, you know, people get off on that. That's disturbing to me, because it's like they say you shouldn't even possess any type of child pornography, child porn, or anything like that, because it's wrong. And to have those pictures on your website, and you just have it where people could click on it and watch it. Think about how many perverts are watching that over and over and over again. And by you having that on your site, that means that you're okay with it. Because you can't control who goes to your page and see what. The only way you can control that is not to even have it there for them to even see it. To me, that's sickening. And for a person who's saying that they have been victimized, you're victimizing these kids by displaying, you know, because they had 2 kids. I don't know if the kids was, you know, still breathing or not. And it's like, these are disturbing photos, and you know, people like looking at things like that, but you still have them on the site, but you're advocating that you're going out helping kids. And I don't understand the mentality of the people who's cheering you on. Oh, she's for the kids, she's for the kids, she's for the kids. That's why I knew I did not want to look at any more of her videos, because the only thing, to me, it seems like, and God forgive me if I'm wrong, to me it seemed like her mother is part of the problem. It's like they're handing out menus, the red menu and the blue menu, because you don't know who's in the audience. The feel I got when it came to her audience, I mean, to the thing that she was doing, I have been to conferences where they say, you don't have to pay, you come and you're going to learn about this, we're going to teach you about that. And you go there, and what they're doing is, you know, they're upselling you. They're selling you on something else. That's the vibe I got from there when she's going around, because
It's false advertising. That's what she's doing, because she's not doing what she said that she is advocating for. She's false advertising. She's taking advantage of those children, or like you said, once again, in the pictures, whatever. You shouldn't even be giving links to where they can access whatever, right? You should be able to make a point without, like, when I'm ready, I can literally make a point without imagery. If I have to go down that road, I can describe certain stuff if I really put my mind to it, right? If I'm not in that kind of mind, I will find it hard to explain it, but I'll try to make my point. She is not for the cause that which she is saying she is for, right? And she has manic outbursts and everything. I remember the first video I saw of Ali when she was seemed like in the hallway. There was talking in the hallway, and she was walking around in a manic way, right? There's certain indications or something very. She herself, whatever she's been through in her life, she needs to go and have therapy for it. Therapy can help a lot of people. It can really help people. I can tell you the numbers of time I've been on lives and people have said, yes, I spoke to my therapist. There's nothing wrong with you speaking to your therapist, as long as the therapist is good and they take time to counsel you. Even women who go through certain stuff, some women are not brought up with their mother hugging them. They have to be taught to play with their children. They have to be taught to do a lot of stuff. Therapists are around to do this. This girl is not for the cause. She's not for the cause. She ain't. She never was in the beginning. Right? it looked good at the beginning, but now it's come to a point where it's not like that no more. Now she's getting exposed. She's in a corner. World have her in a corner. I remember having this conversation with somebody. He has her in a corner. So what the lady's doing, she's reviewing or watching World's videos and whoever's videos on the girl, and she's re-evaluating certain things. She's very calculated. She's taking notes, she's writing notes, she's coming back, she's answering the videos, right? So it's very disturbing to what you are producing, because you have to, like I said, know how to talk to the people, right? Nobody is the best presenter, lecturer, whatever in the world, right? But you can teach people through your own experience, through your eyes, what you've been through. You can do that. You can literally make people come into your shoes. There was a lady, when I used to do massage therapy, I went to an Afrocentric shop, and a lady wrote about her abuse. She wrote in a book. I didn't buy the book personally, because sometimes, right, like, you don't want certain images in your head. She describes certain things, what she had to do for her mother and certain stuff. This lady is now a renowned author because of what she wrote pertaining to her abuse, pertaining to her mother and others, right? She put it in words, right? And it's not, and I wouldn't say it's like a graphic novel, because she also talks about how she felt at the time and how she felt when things was happening, right? So to me, you don't need to put the imagery, because you're feeding into the BS that you're against. So once again, she's anti-human trafficking saver, whatever she's trying to say she is. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go on, but it's just making me think about a lot of things as this lady's talking.
They start handing you out things. Read this, you can get this package, you can meet us in the back room. That's the vibe I got with that. There was more of a conference than educational. And like I said, if I'm wrong, God will deal with me. But it's just something that doesn't sit right about what she's doing, because I'm going to show you why sending people out in the streets with signs do not help.
It led to his demise, because, the human trafficking division in the United States is a small group. Yeah. So that's why after Combs went down, you seen the guy Reed shoot Abercrombie. You see what happens down by Disneyland. They working hand in hand with other groups of law enforcement to combat this. It's $11 billion a year. Yeah. People want to blame the majority of it on the 5% of celebrity culture. That's not the majority that's making the purchases. You can sell a kilo one time, you can sell a kid 100 times.
See, she's always talking against police officers and judges, court things and stuff like that, because she was saying they're corrupt, the people, nothing ever happened, they always get away with what they're doing. But you see that on her page, she's showing people that have been arrested. Her mentality with that picture, she was pointing out that there was judges, that there was teachers, that there was police officers. It was a camp for kids, I think a basketball, football camp, where the kids was being SA'd. And that's the stuff, that's those pictures that she put up, that's what she was emphasizing. She wasn't emphasizing the point that these people got arrested. Two of the pictures that she had up there was from Polk County, Florida, with Grady Judd. He's a sheriff officer. One of the things he's strongly against is sex trafficking, especially with kids. And he's always, once he get people, he figure out that the women, when they do a sweep and they get everybody, and they feel that the women are being sex trafficked, or if they teenager and they may be lying about their age. saying that they're older than they actually are. He has counselors with him. He doesn't just go out there with a police officer. He has 2 women that he brings with him.
Right, because you have to be able to show these children that, one, you're not going to hurt them, right? Remember, they've been through a whole heap of things. You cannot. I believe this is how it goes when they bust the human trafficking ring. When they go there and they carry these people, right, they got to show the children, we are not going to hurt you. First of all, we are not going to hurt you, right? Then they have to then they have to probably evaluate them, because some might have had more trauma than others. So that's where the therapist comes in now. So because some children are not going to talk because they've seen a lot of stuff, they've seen a lot of things. And it's interesting that this lady said she does not highlight that how whoever was busted the ring, because even when she's talking, whenever I see her, I've never been to her website, so I ain't gonna make it like I've been there. Okay, all right. So what this lady showing me is the first thing I'm seeing now. Right? She never talks about the rings that has been broken. Even the other day when I put up one, right, about a human trafficking ring that was broken, and I can't remember what part it was. Hold on.
With us, because if they don't tell that these people are trafficking me, if they don't tell they're being, sold or stuff like that, they can't do anything, because it's up to them to say what's going on with them. So they encourage them to speak up, to speak out, to let them know this is what's going on. They don't arrest those women. They make sure they get the help they need, and they go from there. They take them somewhere safe. That's the stuff she should be emphasizing if you're going to show these type of people pictures, that these people do get caught, that these people do get arrested, and that there are some sheriff officers that really do care about what's going on with the kids. There are some, organizations that's really out there to help kids. And if you got information of bad organization, then that's the information you need to put out there to get those bad people out of there. Because why leave them there to continue to victimize kids? Just make sure they get out of there. And then they can go ahead and revamp the whole thing and do a better job of keeping these kids safe. When they have to go into these organizations because something's going on at home, they have to go into foster care, and they have to go but if you're leaving these people there, if you're not putting these people's name out there, if you got proof, why don't you put their information out there? If you really got proof, say, hey, I went to the judge, I went to this, they didn't do anything with this person, and I have proof that this person is hurting kids. And that's why I was saying, like, how she's sending these people out there to hold up signs and just talk, show that you're standing up against, child abuse and ex trafficking and stuff like that. That's not going to do anything unless you're going to have something behind it. Unless there's some type of organization behind it that's going to go out there to arrest these people or pull these girls out of the situation and get them into counseling and help that they need. Unless you have that, just going out there holding the sign isn't going to do anything crazy. But another thing that kind of stood out about them, I can think of the actual name of it, but it's like association, and it kind of makes you feel comforted, because it's almost, it's like when you go to buy something and the salesperson call you by your first name. That makes you kind of, feel safe, feel comfort, because it's like this person know you, even though you don't know them. relate to the person with that. Oh, they have a dog, I have a dog. They have a cat, I have a cat. You know, they do that. Even though these people are strangers, like, oh, you got, you know, so they kind of break.
Sorry about that. My phone went off. Yeah, so this lady, you know, like I said, I'll be watching people and they'll be echoing what I'm thinking. You know, this is why I like my age group so much. Well, the 40s to 50-year-olds and 30s upwards sometimes. I mean, the younger ones are wise as well. They echo what you're thinking because, especially if you know, you kind of have, well, I don't know. Like in the other video, what this lady does, she literally breaks down Ali a little bit, but she doesn't do it like in the way the other channels is doing. She does it in a different way, and this is what I'm trying. This is why I put her on here particularly. Let me show you her channel if you are interested in going over to her. The Marcia Walker, I think this is there. And she breaks it down whole lot different to how others do it. So I'm gonna let her continue to talk.
Break down the barriers and make them more relatable. But and so with Shelly, Ali initially, I forgot what she said her first, but she changed her name to Ali Carter, got adopted by her mom, Shelly. And I forgot what her first name.
Look, I hope it doesn't keep going out because I'm not going down. Right, it's Tory Outlaw. So that's the name that was found out about AKA Ali. I said Ali Carter. I'm gonna say Ali Walker. Ali Carter.
But her last name was Outlaw. At one point in time, she was saying that Tupac was her father. And so when you think about Tupac and the name Outlaw, Tupac had a song called Outlaw, and then he was with a group called the Outlaws. And then the other part to that is the name Shelly Carter. I'm sorry, the name Ali Carter is associated with a white woman who actually write books. That's her pen name, Ali Carter. And she write books, but it's the type of books that she write. It's like mystery, action, adventure types of book with this young girl. She's going on these adventures and different things like that, discovering things. That's the type of books that she write. So when you hear all these stories Ali is telling about, all these adventures that she had, everything that she went through, it would kind of make you feel kind of almost like it's true, because if you heard of Ali Carter, the writer who writes those type of stories about this young girl. And then with her mother, Shelly Carter, there's a Black woman with the name Shelly Carter who is a she is a firefighter. I'm sorry, she's a firefighter. And when you think of a firefighter, you think of a person that goes out and help, the person who goes out and protect. So here you have Shelly Carter, who's protecting Ali, who went out, rescued Ali, who saved Ali, who helped get Ali. So you're gonna have a positive outlook on Shelly Carter. So when you hear these stories, they're gonna kind of fit in because you're kind of familiar. If you heard those names before, you're kind of familiar with them. Or if you do the research, those two will pop up first before the Ali and Shelly Carter that we're talking about pops up. Then it's another thing, her date of birth, I think Ali Carter, her date of birth is the same as Birdman that she had in her first affidavit. And then the name Carter is associated with Jay-Z, Sean Carter. And then with Shelly Carter, she had like I said, I think it's the same Shelley Carter. I did another video about this. Her husband name was Christian Carter. And so when you think of Christian Carter, you might think of these people name. You might think of Diddy because his son name is Christian Combs. So it's like they got these little, like connected dots. Oh, this person connect to this person that connects to this.
You see that though? You see, people are so smart, because when she's talking about all the stuff to do with the elites and different things and this and that and the other, right? Right. Obviously, it gets twisted. It gets twisted, right? So basically, it gets twisted, and she is able now to say, like, to say, oh yeah, like the elites, oh, Diddy did me this and this and that and that and that and that and that, because like she's telling truth of what's happened to other children in the Freaknik party. But then it's all association with stuff. That's like the etymology stuff. If you listen to the conscious community, when they do etymology, they associate the word with something which means something else, which goes into something else, which goes into Hebrew, which goes into Greek, which goes into Latin, which goes into something else. So whenever you're talking about certain words, right, she's associated it around these things. That's what this lady is saying, basically. And I know you guys caught onto that, right? With the names and certain stuff, it's kind of just a twisted way of looking at things. The thing with the fire, where they said she predicted the fire. Now, one of the things that people's, because I think I spoke to people about, I can't remember whether I spoke to people about it or I seen it somewhere, but they were saying that how in California there are loads of fires that happens in California. So when she's predicted it, right, she is for saying, oh yeah, there's going to be a fire. Oh, this is going to happen. But for a long time, the conscious community going down the line has always talked about the tsunamis that's happening. There's movies on it, 2024, where the whole place iced up in America. The other day, I watched Civil War, right? So when you're watching certain stuff, you are also associating with certain things that has been brought forward, i.e. they call them conspiracy theories. Some of the conspiracy theories has come through, yes. The Georgian stone breaking, certain stuff. So when she's saying certain stuff, these are already things like have disasters happen on a regular basis. And I think I see it in the mummy sector, because sometimes them subs in the mummy sector are quite interesting, because when they talk about certain stuff, even I'm like, bro, I didn't even know you guys was even looking at that. Like, you know what I mean? So when they start when she spoke about the fires, they were said that how fires happen in California or LA a lot. This is not a phenomenon. The only thing is that how many houses got taken, many people are displaced, and many people's lives got taken. It's not something that how like you get you beat up your chest. I knew about that. It's a phenomenal thing that happens on a regular basis, right? It happens on a regular basis. I'm sure, and I'm not going to look it up. I might do, and I might not. But people were saying, people who live near in the Americas particularly, said that how this happens particularly a lot in LA and in California, and certain places is earthquake places where earthquake happens, and certain places, like even over here, at one point, there was the part where the water was taking the land away. They predicted a few things over here too. I'm not even going to say it because I don't even want it to be put into the air. But these things happens because there are natural disasters. Snow, that happened in certain places. Natural disasters, natural things happen. Texas froze over last year. Natural disaster. People was cold. People had to find a way to survive. So when she's talking, people are there saying, oh, but she predicted this and she predicted this and she predicted that. There is true seers and oracles. Yes, there is. And they will see things coming and they will say, okay, this is happening. But in her case, it's not the case because she's associating stuff that has been said before in the past. So what she's saying about the name change is interesting, even though it might not even be like that. The woman might just be named Carter. Like, it could be just be coincidental that the woman is called Carter and she's called Outlaw. Coincidentally, it happens. Sometimes things happen like that. It doesn't necessarily mean what it is, what it's not. But I think I'm going to try and go to her other video. Let me see if I can go to the other one before this one finishes. I mean, no, not going to let this one finish. Well, this one here,
accusations and the things that she's throwing out there, does it help children that are being trafficked?
right, this one here now. This one is the one that caught my eye with this lady. This is why I'm playing this lady. This lady is breaking down stuff and looking at it another way, right? Because now, remember, right, they already exposed now. The names are out, the family's out. So let's look at it from another perspective.
Or is it a distraction from really helping those that are in need? Before I get into it, first I want to show you this video.
Those who are beating up on me, and for those who feel like they are entitled to that picture, everybody, I need names. Police station, hospitals, daycare centers, schools, training centers, wellness centers. Your local mayor, your local government. You want to keep going?
There's no specific names. Pacific. You have to be Pacific. You throw a stone in the ocean, there's going to be a ripple, right? Like how, yes, you can say schools and stuff. Yes, schools, we have heard of these things happening in schools, grooming, all sorts of things going on in schools and judges, all sorts of things. Yeah, be Pacific. You gotta name them, girl. You gotta name them. That's what people saying, right? The children that you supposed to be saving, you gotta save them. Like, find out. They gotta find out where they at so they can go in and go move and go get them. Saying all this, but anyways.
You have the names. Y'all just so busy working on names that you think that is your idol. So now that I give you a name, let me give you another name. Let me give you another name. You want another one? Here you go. Write this down. Write this down. What city are you in? Let me help you. Write it down. Write it down. You ready? You ready? I'm letting everybody like, I'm getting a fucking pen. Give me a second. I'm gonna get a pen. You got a pen? You got a pen? You sure you got a pen? Okay, good. Here we go. Your local schools, your local police station, your local mayors, your government, your doctors, your lawyers, your judges, your attorneys, and they are all surrounding you in your own backyard. So now that you have that name, let me see what you do with it, because I bet you it ain't a damn thing.
As you've seen in the video, people are asking, so it's not just me. There's other people asking and questioning her about certain information that she's saying that she has. It's also them asking her about names that she said that she have specific names that she's going to drop, that she's going to say, but she never does. She never gives any concrete information that can lead authorities to these people, to these situations, to these places to truly help kids that are being trafficked. A lot of things that she do is repeat stuff that is already known, that is already out there in the world. And a lot of people are listening to her as if this is their first time hearing it. When she speaks about tunnels, tunnels has always existed. If you look at what's going on with Israel and Hamas, what is Israel always talking about? The tunnels that Hamas have that they use to get around that they use to get bring in weapons from Egypt, because they have two borders. Palestine is bordered with Israel as well as Egypt. Israel monitor everything that comes across their borders on trucks, but they use tunnels to get things in and out on their Egypt side. So tunnels has always been used. Also, if you watch history, ancient civilizations, some of those people actually lived underground. They had a whole system set up underground where they lived. They had animals, they raised crops, they did everything. Their whole life was lived underground, and everything was set up where they had water coming in, where they had air, oxygen coming in and out. They had all this set up. Every state, every country has a tunnel system. There's tunnels under hospitals. The military have tunnels underground. They have underground bunkers for the president, just in case something happened, where whole vehicles can move back and forth. So the tunnel situation isn't anything new. Tunnels have always been there. During Al Capone days, they used tunnels to get to traffic alcohol from one location to another location, because during Prohibition, it was prohibited to sell alcohol. So they used tunnels. So nefarious things have always taken place underground in tunnels or underground in bunkers. There was a story about a girl that was kidnapped, and the man held her in the underground bunker in the woods. And he had her there, I forgot how many days, but she was there until she actually basically saved herself to get out of that. So when I hear about it, because like I said, I'm a nerd and I used to watch history channels all the time. So that's what some of the things they talked about, some of the things I seen before I ever heard of Ally Carter, before P. Diddy has ever been in the news for what he's in the news for now. They have been talking about these tunnels. There's tunnels that was built from Mexico to the United States.
For years, U.S. and Mexican authorities have found and destroyed over 180 tunnels along this border. The question, they say, isn't whether there are more tunnels, but how many and where. Much of what's funneled beneath is the product of Mexico's Sinaloa cartel, headed by Joaquin El Chapo Guzman, busted out of the Altiplano prison near Mexico City earlier this year by having his comrades brazenly tunnel right into his prison cell. A tunnel even fitted out with a motorcycle on a rail. Notorious.
Hi, Hood Horrors.
Not only for his narrow escapes and prison breaks, but for the elaborate cross-border tunnels his cartel has engineered. Some, like this tunnel discovered last year near San Diego, are thousands of feet long. The job of finding them goes to the human moles, the Customs and Border Protection tunnel team.
You guys took the training, right? Yeah.
Tasked with the sometimes deadly job of sniffing out the tunnels, honeycombing the 2,000-mile-long border with Mexico.
This is why I don't get excited when I hear her saying that she's been in underground tunnels like everyone else did. They say, oh, she must have really been there because she was in these tunnels. She knew about these tunnels. It's out there. This is not a secret. Hugh Hefner tunnel, all this is not a secret. It has always been out there one way or another. what they're used for is different.
Yeah, there was tunnels under some part of I can't remember where they said it was now. They said there was a tunnel where they used to carry, what was it? It wasn't coal, it was something, and they used to tunnel, and it used to be coals going through there. Yes, the cartel was renowned for their tunnels. They're renowned for that, to get from one end to the other end of from either, I say, Mexico maybe to somewhere else. I mean, like they show these in movies as well. So I like how she talks about the tunnels, because I like El Chapo. He was a very good villain, a very good and deadly man. So I like how she describes the tunnel, and she links it to El Chapo and others. You know what I mean? I just love when people do that, so you can get an idea of how big these tunnels are. So when she's talking about tunnels and stuff like that, they tend to put them inside of the shipping things. That's how they carry the children one way. Another way they will do it, I forgot, there's another way how they do it as well. They do it in various ways. So like I said, it's either Ali's seen these things somewhere, she's heard these somewhere, right? With all things, naturally, people will remember stuff. They will know, when you listen to stuff, you will remember a whole heap of things. It happens. You'll probably remember a movie. It'll just jump into your head automatically. Someone could be talking about anything, and you will correlate that thing to that thing straight away. That's all I'm saying, basically. You know, I know I go on, but this lady makes sense. She does. She makes a lot of sense to me, anyway.
Things depending on who have access to the tunnel and what they're doing with the tunnels. But when people sit around and act like it's new information when it's not, and like I said, just because I could say about this tunnel that I never been in any of these tunnels, but they do exist. And another thing, people have been saying that I'm too hard on her. They have been coming in my comments under her video saying that she has DID. And because she has DID, that is why she can't give all the information. That's why she doesn't know certain things. I have always talked about myself suffering with anxiety and depression. I have recently been diagnosed with PTSD. And so even before I was diagnosed with that, and I just thought I was suffering from anxiety and depression, I have always said I do not like people being taken advantage of. I do not like people being misused. I do not like people being mistreated. I do not like people being made fun of, especially when they do have some type of mental, something going on with them mentally. That's one of my pet peeve, is how people treat people who don't see the world or respond to the world the way they do. That has always been one of my pet peeves. And so if you understand and know that she has DID, my question is, do you really understand what that is? Before it was called DID, it was called multiple personality disorder, meaning that the person may have one other personality or many other personalities. And like I said, I never said she wasn't violated. I never said she wasn't trafficked. I never said she wasn't hurt in any type of way as a child or anything. I never stated that. I was just stating the information that she was given really wasn't information. And if she's saying that she has information, I was saying that she should turn it over. And so if she is suffering from DID, that means that during those times when she was being abused, during those times when she was having something violent or traumatic done to her, that means her mind split into different people, different personalities. So therefore, there's going to be times when she completely blacked out and doesn't know what happened or doesn't remember what happened. There's going to be times where information is going to be conflicted. She's not going to be sure if something happened, or, you know, did this really happen? Did this not really happen? And so therefore, she cannot trust her own memory of things that happen. So if she can't trust it, how can we? And like I said, this isn't me analyzing her. This is based on what she has said herself about having DID, and other people have came under my comment and said that. So can it possibly be that people are using her and her situation for their gain, for their purpose, instead of actually helping her? Because even with her saying, I'm going to give out names, if you're just seeing there's everywhere, they're everywhere, it's true. Anytime you have children or anything to do with children or anything to do with women or anything to be, you know, do with making money, you're going to find people who's willing to take advantage of other people, whether it's children, whether it's women, whether it's men, on that type of level. They're going to be there because that's how their mind think. They are predators. So just saying they're everywhere, they're in Congress, they're in the movie, they're in this, they're in that, they're in the music business, they're the teachers, they're the doctors. It's true, but just throwing out vaguely, they're everywhere is not helping anyone. So that was my thing. I truly believe in helping kids that are in this situation. So if you have information, turn the information over. If you don't have information, then you are, for the lack of better words, wasting time that can be used for people going after the real people going in the right direction and not the wrong direction. So this is not me hating on her. This is not me trying to put her down. But at the same time, if she's dealing with a mental situation like DID, where her personality has split and her memory can be vague at times, she can have memory loss of certain things that may or may not have happened to her, or she could be making up certain things, and those things that she could be making up could be in place of what really happened to her. So like I said, before you come after me, understand what DID mean. Is someone really there because she says she has?
And that's exactly what I think as well. There's quite a few people. Well, I think that, and it's interesting because she gives very detailed of certain abuses that's happened. I mean, like I said, like they have now pinned Shelley Carter as the predator. So who knows? Maybe things has happened to her in that way. You know what I mean? Just my thing is, right, you are supposed to be promoting, getting the well, it's not even promotion. You are doing a cause to get human trafficking children away from the people. And it's like, even how you're presenting it, it's not even right how you're doing it. So of course people is going to question your motive. Why is she showing these images? Why? That's the first question I would come across my head. Why are you showing these images? Like I said, she showed it on IG, the video, and I was like, what the? I don't know it was her or it was in the algorithm. I don't know. It was there. It was there. And in the past, I've spoken about videos that have popped up on Facebook in certain places and people be filming. And even me, I have reported videos due to just, you're just disgusted. You're just disgusted. You report the video on Facebook of something that you've seen and you don't understand how, right? If you put up something that is music on Facebook, right? Or you say something, right? I used to have there's someone that I know, she's very outspoken. She says something outspoken in the group I had created on Facebook. They came down on me like a ton of bricks. She was only expressing herself like she normally does because she's very outspoken. That's who she is at the end of the day. They came down on me like a ton of bricks. Not only did they block her, they tried to block the group. I think in the end I closed the group down because it didn't make sense at the time, and they will close down, they will shut down your Facebook because of that group. So it happened like that. Now that's what I'm saying. You're promoting these things, and then you're like, you're not even thinking. You and this lady, like I said, it happens all around the world. Like all around the world, literally all around the world, this happens. There's no specific place. South America was one place they looked on because that's where some of the children or the girls will come from. The children will come from. South America was one area that was spoken about. So, yeah. Sorry, I know I'll go on.
Her stepmother, her adopted mother is with her. Is she really looking out for her on a mental level? People love to say, oh, she's not asking for money. That doesn't mean she's not getting money. This is what people need to understand. People take advantage of mentally ill people all the time. That's nothing new.
Here's the thing. So there's these talks amongst the blogs of them strategically putting together what they call this viral, like, just massive expose. People that are willing to say whatever to get them views. And when I tell you, they dish out I just talked to a podcaster yesterday that gave Orlando Brown $10,000. And he told the podcaster, he said, it depends on what you pay for, which Orlando you're gonna get. So if you give me 5, you give me none, you don't get none. You give me 5, you get this, you get 10. He paid $10,000 for Orlando Brown. I paid 0. Nothing. Ray J. Sure, he put a bag on Ray J as well. Ray J don't sit down unless you give him a bag. He out here, going through it too, trying to, bring views back to his network and stuff. And there's been this branding that's going on. So they want like documentary pieces with Jaguar, Orlando Brown, Charleston White. Matter of fact, I was telling Charleston about.
They're paid them for their stories. The more money they pay, the more dramatical they say the story. And that's a shame to say about this situation. This situation here. I'm not going to linger on this one. Well, the part I want to go to is where, right now, after all what came out about Ali decided that she wants to respond to her mother. I don't even know if I got the whole thing. She wants to respond to her mother. Let me see if I can find the beginning of it. Oh, there it is. Here we go.
But how do you run a whole hate campaign, a whole slander campaign, when you can't even get the name right? Make that make sense. That's a 99-cent background check. But look at the traction it's getting. That's how I know it's an evil agenda. That's how I know it's meant to discredit. That's how I know it's meant to slander. It was being used to try to trigger Ellie's programming. And I'm sorry that we have to be here, and I'm sorry we have to waste the time trying to clear this up. When people start doing things like this, we have two choices. I can either just ignore it, or we have to address it. Either way, I don't want to do any of those things because that detracts from the kids. It shouldn't be a thing, but unfortunately it is. So I apologize for all of you that your time's been wasted, that you had to question things, that things have been put in a bad light. Even if I was all of these things that I'm being accused of, the fact of the matter is there's still children that are missing. There's still children right now that are being tortured, that are scared, that have nobody, that are waiting on somebody to come and find them. They're waiting on somebody to come and ask the question. And we're doing this. Make that make sense. Ellie's name change. I'm trying not to jump around. I'm trying to go in a logical order. Hopefully you have a pencil and paper with you because we're gonna go over some things in a minute. Ellie's name change. Yes, Ellie's name was Tori Outlaw.
Mm-hmm. Told you that.
Her name changed when she was adopted. I've given you driver's license. We've showed that. We've showed the adoption papers. I've given you guys the number where you can go down to Riverside County Court. You can request that. I don't know if you can pull that up online as public record. You should be able to. It's been said that Allie's not adopted. That's not true. I have an adoption paperwork. You can look it up for yourself, but tell me why nobody's bothering to do the basic. Just the very basic check, a name check, check the adoption. That's public record. So that, I hope that lets you know the level of evil that we're dealing with right now. If you have pen and paper, I see a lot of people are getting kind of confused on the timeline. When you're dealing with dark evil, there's usually a lot of witchcraft and there's a lot of different types of things involved. And there are demons that will twist things and cause confusion over things that shouldn't be confusing. So that's why I wanted you to have pencil and paper. I'm going to go over a timeline so you guys can kind of see. And if anybody's struggling, you can kind of help them and say, no, this is the timeline. It's posted. We've posted it before. But apparently there's a blindness or something with any of the information that we've posted, or people are saying, well, it's not true. I don't know. I'm at a loss. Just make it make sense. In 1994, at 3 months old, Ellie was born in 94. At 3 months old, CPS came out on a sexual assault charge. They referred it out, which means they didn't do anything about it. So stop and think for a minute. A 3-month-old baby is being sexually abused. This is why CPS came out. It's in the report. The report is posted. They referred it out. What you need to know about MK Ultra and DID is that there's programming, and DID is when the mind splits and creates alters. So take the 3-month-old baby. If somebody is sexually assaulting that baby, that is too much stimuli, too much pain, too much trauma for a child, a 3-month-old baby, to manage through evil. That is the true crime against humanity. People have learned evil people have learned that we take this 3-month-old baby, we sexually assault that 3-month-old baby, we split the psyche, we can take that new split off that brain, the new split off the psyche, and we can program it. And that's essentially what's been done. So in Allie's case, there is because it has a newborn cry.
Do you notice the wording she's using when she's describing that whole thing with the baby? You notice the wording. It's not even like, you know, I'm flabbergasted. Okay? That's how I feel. The wording she used was like that. You are talking how the predators talk. See that talk what you just said there? Mind you, I think I've listened to this, but they've taken out certain parts of it, and I can see why. The words you are using, it sounds weird and predatorial. Now, I might not keep this one up for long. I might just go and change because this is when she got found out by the YouTube. Sorry, the YouTube found out who she was, and she was answering back the YouTube, right? She said to them to go and research. She said it twice. She said to 2 content creators, go and research. And they came back. They went and they researched and they bring back the information. So she is now trying to contradict what they are saying, which is what I said at the beginning. She tried to contradict what they're saying. So she's trying to talk about this girl, what she went through as well, because bear in mind, right, they said that she was a social worker, so she knows what to say, what to be said, how to say it, how to put it over, right? Like I said, there's always been questions over these two for a very long time. This is nothing new. This is not because it's trending now. There was always questions surrounding them. I'm really thinking if I should play the one where Angela Stanton questioned them. Right? I'm not, right? I can't, right? Sorry, can't get my words across too quick now. I'm thinking too fast. I'm not even going to play any more of this one because the content creators already broke down what she said. I'm going to add their names to the one being World News and Danny Robinson, right? Broke down the ins and outs, okay? And I know he's like Marmite, yes, we know what he's like through the Nature Boy sector, etc. But he hit on a nail, he hit on something, he touched the button. I always wondered why that lady was always there all the time. I'm going to play a little bit of the old video. Right? So Angela Stanton was questioning them. I can't remember how long I made this video. Angela Stanton made a video pertaining to them. See, Angela Stanton.
The video saying why I don't want my name. Next thing I know, Allie and her white mammy go live, right? I go over to their live, send in a request to be in the video. Check out what happened and what was said when I sent in the request to be in the video.
Said was to talk now.
No.
But we haven't received that phone call that you still told us you were gonna call us the first time you called. So now you want to talk? Honey, we don't want to talk to you. Why don't you? You're the one who said you were scared and you didn't want anything to do with us.
You said about 20 different things.
Yeah.
We were still sitting in a hotel room in Apple Valley.
Mm-hmm. about 5 miles up from our house because we couldn't stay. We had the dog in the house because we didn't take the other dog yet.
Now, hold on now. You don't let me in alive so we can get clarification.
Now she's all gangster now. You see, gangster. Such a difference from the video that I put up of her explaining about what had happened to her and all this. And now she's going on with these moves now. So I'm thinking, what's going on? Like, I mean, Angela was right. Could be grifters. Yeah, I'm thinking she is a grifter. You know, so she's just giving attitude. I'm just like, bro.
There go Granny back there standing up against the wall. This the white mammy over in the corner with so much to say. Now let's talk about what they said. Said, you left us. We had to leave the house and we was in the hotel up the road. So you was already from the house at a hotel up the road. Right? I thought y'all was trying to go to a hotel. You said y'all was at the hotel because y'all had already left the house. Right? Y'all said that I said I was scared. Truth is, I said I can't trust you. I'm scared of the games y'all playing, and I don't want to be involved. Right? We're going to talk about why. We're going to finish watching this video. Now, remember, now just yesterday, y'all just put up a whole telegram with me in the front. Right? You just use.
This video was done 2 years ago. I did a video 2 years ago. This is before she came out saying she was Tupac's daughter, before she said whatever else she said, right? This is the behavior she was showing 2 years ago, right? And this is why I dropped it. I just stopped talking about her because it was beginning to look a little fishy. The rice weren't right. So when Angela Stanton brought out the video of what she found out about them, right? Because she really wanted to help them. Remember I said this at the beginning. She wanted to help them to further their cause. And it's like she got a fight from them, okay? So I'm going to play a little bit of this video. I'm not going to play all of it, all right? I'm going to play a little bit.
Use my whole tweet to open up your whole promotional video. Now I can't talk. Now you don't trust me. Now y'all left the house and was at the hotel. All right, let's keep going.
And we were sitting in that hotel room, and you said you would call right back. You never called. And I'm still waiting for that damn call. You said.
Now, remember the old lady that Will was talking about? See her right at the back there? There's that old lady that was sitting in the back seat when they're talking as well, right? And you notice Ali's not answering. It's Shelly. Shelly's the one who's talking. Shelly's talking for her, right? So like I said, this has been going on a long time. It ain't just now. This ain't new. This ain't something brand new that just come out, right? There's nothing new under the sun, right? And I'm going to let it play so you can hear how Stanton looked. I think she looked into them as well. I think she investigated them at one point as well. So people has been investigating them. It's not just now. People's investigating them, right? The only thing is, where people fear to tread, others will go. That's my thinking on the investigation. Where others fear to tread, others will go. And they went and they brought back. And I think Stanton she did an investigation or some type of something on her. But she worked out definitely there was something up with these two. Definitely.
As a black woman, you would help my kid. And I'm still waiting for your fucking call so you can stand down and get out of my face with that bullshit. You said wait for Tim Ballard's call. You told us
Y'all
to
are a
wait
bunch
for
of fucking liars.
Mhm.
And I'm not covering for your shit. As a black woman, you should have stood with my kid. You should have had some balls to stand with my kid. You're a fucking coward.
Go ahead and make your little video about me and team up with Victor Marks the same way you did before. I don't.
Now, now,
What I can say to that is wow. Like, and the ladies on the side shouting and all this. I mean, what do they expect? What do they think they're gonna accomplish by this? Yeah, the adopted mother is white. What does she think she's gonna accomplish by doing that? No one's gonna want. I mean, people will still listen, obviously, but we had a powerhouse there that could do you, so could help your plight, and then you go on with all this foolishness. I just don't. I can't do it. To be honest, I'm definitely.
don't tell me, right, as a black woman, I should have had the nuts. You, sir, to say, hold on. I lost their mind. We need to up for a minute. Now let's talk about what really happened, and then we're gonna play the rest of the video. What really happened was I saw the story. Me, retarded as hell, feeling like, oh, here I'm gonna whole world be able to save us from human trafficking and the projects, and I'm gonna do all of this, right? So I pick up my phone and I DM you. I help you, right? Me, set a trap for myself. Because I'm always concerned, right? About somebody that needs help, right? Share your story. If y'all remember in the beginning, I said, right, allegations. Y'all check it out. That's all I said. I wasn't validating nothing. But because I'm running for Congress at the time, right, it's a stamp of validation, right? So I reach out to her and her white mammy, right? What can I do to help y'all, right? I just happened at the time to be connected to Tim Ballard, right? And Victor Max, right? Reached out to both of them, asked them if they would help her. Remember, she mentioned the name Victor Max. Victor Max reached out. They had everything to help this young woman. When it was time to help her, she didn't want the help. Call me back. Well, we'd rather just go to another hotel. We don't want nobody to know where we're at. Remember, she said her life was in danger. Y'all heard her say that. It's the same thing he told me. We don't want nobody to know where we at. I said, okay, well then I'll just put the hotel on my credit card. No, we'd rather have cash because we just don't want nobody to know where. Wait, what you mean? What?
So she offered to help you and put money on the hotel space, and you refused it. You refused help. Someone's helping you to escape people threatening your life, and you refused it. That's interesting.
You don't went from trusting me to not trusting me. Say you still waiting on the call from telling they don't want to rock with you, ma'am. Hell, I'm waiting. I'll be back. They ain't answered the phone for me ever since I asked them to help you. The nerve, right, of these people. You put me up today. You put me up today like everything all cool. Like you think I forgot. And so my point is, right, because, everyone to look at me because I ran for office, some type of, polished, politician. Nah, baby, that ain't what it's like. I'm from the streets. I've been in prison, with women just like your wife mammy, right? Like I kind of had game ran on me like I was at peep through it. Because if you calling out the names that you are calling out, right? And we saw that these people got money. You like you don't need no money. You need protection. You need to relocate. You need a safe house. I got that for you through my connections. That went from no, you want to go yourself, and now all of a sudden you and your mama been on a run ever since. Now, all I'm saying is, and like I said before, I don't know how you done got from the island all the way back over here in the States, traveling everywhere, posting where you at, putting up information to book you for speaking engagements, but you worried about being knocked off by some of the richest people in the world. But you're always dropping your location. Let's go back and finish listening to this video. You know, person in the world, but I would think that if my whole post is about me being on the run, me and my mama, you know what I'm saying? And we don't want nobody to know where we at, and you decline from me and some very reputable people, right, in this business that actually do this, then, you know, is this really about you wanting safety? Is this really about you being on the run? Because if your safety, right, is at risk, why are you accepting speaking engagements? What kind of...
So the video is on my channel. You can go look at it. It's the case that Ali Carter reposted. I'm not going to play all of it. Now, as you see, she was ready to pay for their hotel. She was ready to protect them. However, the lady came at Stanton. She came at her, right, in the video. Those little videos, what they do. She came at her. So, like, if people wants to help your cause and you're there telling them that how you don't want their help is mad. It's crazy like that, right? When you have someone who's in power, who can go to certain boards, who can go to, like, here, for instance, is the parliament, right? You have to have someone to bring certain things to parliament so that whatever changes need to be brought forward can be brought forward. That's why they put in Sarah's law, let's say, because there was a lot of pedophiles moving in to next door to people, whatever. They want to find out so they can know what the offenders are. So that if you move into a place, you could go see who the offenders are in the area, so that you can safeguard your child or move out the area, whatever you got to do, right? You have to go to some kind of Congress, some kind of high up, some kind of something. Even Sister Space did it so they can help DV women in crisis. They are a cause, right? And they brought out Valerie's law, I think it's called Valerie's law. So you had gold in your hand and you let it go. Now, I'm not going to play all of it because, as you can see, my live has gone over 2 hours and I'm not going to prolong it any longer. If I have to do a part 2, I'll come back. I'll probably, if you want me to play my video, so you can see how Stanton dealt with her, right? How Stanton dealt with this lady. I did post it on the community tab long time, or a while ago, last year. But when you watch it and you hear how Stanton was ready to help them, she was ready to help them. Who knows who else they would have got help from? I mean, like they say, not all money is good money, but at the same time, right? From what I know of Stanton, she does a lot of causes and a lot of stuff. And I mean, like, people can correct me if I'm wrong, obviously. But the fact that she DM'd her and she tried to reach out to her, I'm sure many people tried to reach out to her so they can help them, so they can further their cause. But like the other lady said, the things what you showing on the website is questionable. The things that you're talking about is even more questionable. The way you're moving, Manic, is questionable. You're questionable, full stop. That's what I said. They're grifters. the grifters. And I'm actually glad that how we know a little bit more about Ali than we knew 2 years ago. Right? Thanks to the YouTube investigators, we found out a lot more about Ali than we knew 2 years ago, because it was beginning to get a little silly. Then when I saw her come out with the Tupac, that she's Tupac's daughter story, I said, oh my word, this girl never gives up. Like, what the heck? Right? You're following the other girl who said she was Aaliyah's daughter, Aaliyah and R. Kelly's daughter. Right? There's obviously something deep down wrong with Ali, aka Tory Outlaw. There's something wrong with her. So, you know, this lady is obviously exploiting. There's exploitation going on. There's other things going on. She's making up stories, twisting stories, posting up certain things on websites which makes no sense, which it's more like you are the problem than the solution. But like I said, I'm going to leave it there because I went over 2 hours. I didn't even mean to. But the lady was saying so much key stuff in there. That's why I brought her forward. She said so many key stuff in there, right? Sometimes you have to read between the lines with certain stuff as well, right? Not everybody can put over the words eloquently and proper, and they can still get to where they want to get to, say what they want to say. And the lady, like I said, it's like I said, people echo what I be thinking. You think it's joke. I swear I'll be getting messages through flipping YouTube somehow, somewhere, I don't know. Or I'll be talking, I'm one of them people. I'm a typical West Indian woman. You know them people who like to shout at programs and shout at the phone and shout at I'll be shouting at my phone. I'll be watching stuff, I'll be shouting at my phone. And my children come in and say, oh, mom, who are you talking to? I'm talking, I'll be saying, oh my God, that's right. Because it's like you're putting all the jigsaw together. I feel this is slowly going to unravel by itself, mind you. It's going to unravel by itself. Like somebody's already calling the authorities, right? It's going to unravel. This is going to slowly unravel, and we're going to watch it unravel and unravel and unravel. Alexander said last year, I can't remember, before the end of summer, end of summer, he said everybody's going to get exposed. What's happening? We're hearing about Angela. Angela. We're hearing about Ali. We're hearing about Didi. We're hearing about this one. We're hearing about that one. All sorts of things is going on. So I'm going to come off. I'm not even going to prolong the video. Please leave a comment if you made it through the 2 hours and 21 minutes or 22 minutes time. Please leave a comment underneath the video, and we can have a whole chat about this. I'm not going to play anymore. If you look on my channel, you'll find this same video, and you can listen for yourself how Stanton rattled them a little bit, because she did rattle them a little bit, because they went underground for a little while. They disappeared for a little while, and then she surfaced, and she ended up going to some next channel talking on there, and then she was somewhere else. She's talking to someone else. Then her and the mother's popping up. Then the next thing you know, you see them in some next place. Right, when people's after you, right? Many of us who watch programs where people are running from mobs, the Dawn, whoever, you never show your location where you at. You never do, right? In YouTube terms, they call that doxing. You're doxing yourself. You're showing where you are, right? So the people you're running from will always know where you are, because you're telling them where you at. But anyways, like I said, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop because I know me. I'm gonna go off somewhere else again. So though it's been a slow start, but please listen in on what the lady says. And if you come across her video, go and sub to her, because she makes a lot of sense. She does, right? She makes a lot of sense. right? I thought she was a psychiatrist really at first, but she's not. I think she's just speaking her opinion. But it's the way she broke it down. I was like, wow, I've never seen nobody break down something like that before. That's how she broke it down. And I said, yeah, see that? Oh, that's the one I want. So, like I said, with that said, I'm going to see you. Take care. Oops. Hold on, let me find the outro. Take care. Thank you for listening. Take care. Bye.